welcome back to my channel. Sorry for my absence. A lot of things have been happening in my life that has taken me away from social media, and not just YouTube. I've been away from all my social media platforms, including my personal social media, which is Facebook and things like that. I really haven't been present on the social media sites, but I do want to say all is well. I'm okay. It's just that a lot of stuff in my life has been happening. This last month I got sick. My son got sick. And my mom was sick, and then my mom had back surgery last month, and then I've been dealing with, like family issues, and I've been dealing with my own anxiety and some depression, and just life has just been happening to the degree where I had to take a step back from like social media and things like that. So all is well. It's just that I needed a break to really focus on myself and the things surrounding me. So yeah, that's pretty much what stemmed my absence from this and other platforms. So we ended quarter one, almost said chapter one. We ended quarter one, and the planners that I was using for quarter one was the Hemlock and Oak and the Leuchtturm planners, and I was using that in conjunction with the Midori One Day One Page, which I completely phased out after, I want to say, February. I just stopped using it altogether, and in a way I kind of sort of phased out the Hemlock and Oak too, because after some time, March really, when all of these things were happening, I started to realize that the Hemlock and Oak planner was really, really big, one, and two, I couldn't really take it anywhere with me. I was missing information. I was missing days, like keeping up with the days. I was missing a lot in that planner. And when I tried to go back and like catch it up, I was not there. I was not catching that planner up. So I just told myself, like, you're going to use this year what's working easiest for you, or what's working best for you rather, and not try to force yourself to use something for the sake of using something. So I think the Hemlock and Oak is a wonderful planner. I don't feel any regrets buying it. I don't have any ill feels about, the planner itself. I think it's a great planner. I just think it's just too big for this part of my life. With that said, I made some changes to my system. So completely downsized to something a whole lot smaller. So I went and I got the Hobonichi original, and then I went and got the Sweet Freckled Designs weekly diary, which these two things are what I'm going to be using for quarter two. And then for, I want to say, the remainder of like the year. Sorry, I went to check something. I thought my son was getting up. So like I said, these are the two planners that I'm considering using for the rest of the year, but definitely for quarter two. So I am going to show a little bit and talk a little bit about the Leuchtturm, because I feel like we need to go backwards a little bit, because I have been planning. I did kind of fall off from planning anything for the last couple of weeks, but I definitely want to share with you what I've done in my Leuchtturm. So let's look at that really quick. And as you can tell, probably I'm still kind of getting over my cold. So this is my Leuchtturm, and this is the planner that I started the year with. And I am considering, I'm not even going to say I'm considering, I'm definitely going to back plan the last 2 weeks in this planner and carry it through to December, because I at least wanted to have one book that archived every part of the year. I have never had that in the last couple of years where, one system had everything. So I at least want this to be my archive for sure, because it has a lot of important information in it, and information about medications and stuff that I've taken, and doctors and stuff that I've seen. So there's a lot of stuff in this planner. Obviously, as you can tell, it's not in the original cover that it was once in, which was the Moterm cover. It kind of outgrew the Moterm cover, so I ended up having to buy something that was a little bit more flexible. So I got this from Amazon. And as you can see, my system in itself really, or it just really grew. It very much so grew. So the first book in here, oh, and by the way, I've added like pictures and stuff and pockets. So it's a very lived in planner. At some point in time when I stopped using my hemlock and oak, I wasn't necessarily not using a planner. I was using this planner. And this planner was like the one and only. I was only using this. I had toyed around with the idea of a bullet journal, but then I just was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going through the motions of setting it up. So, I've already done like a flip of this planner, so I won't bore you guys with, another flip. If you really want to see it, there is like a flip on my channel. But I was using the tracker, so I was keeping up with the tracker, and as you can see, March isn't finished and anything for April isn't checked off because, as you can see, like I said, I kind of wasn't using this planner for about 2 weeks. But I really like this planner a lot. I like the weekly with the notes. If you hear me clear my throat, I'm sorry. I'm kind of getting over that cold, and I've got like mucus that's like trying to clear out. So if that bothers you, I do apologize, but I don't really have any other way around it. I just have to let, it do its thing. So, but like I said, I really like the weekly with the notes. This is like my favorite layout, and I like splitting, like the weekly part in half, so that way I have like my main events and appointments on this side, and then like day specific task on this side. And then this side, it turns into anything. Sometimes it's notes, sometimes it's important, sometimes it's reminders. It just depends on, like what I want for that week. And of course, I've added a ton of sticky notes. I'm hearing my son, and you probably are too, but yeah, it's just been like, just a place to capture like stuff for the week. And I really love this, and this has worked a whole lot for me, just being this small. I do have a playlist on my channel called Pint Size Planning, where I take you through like my my little journey this year while I'm using these smaller planners to give some ideas for some of you who want to be in a smaller system, because I was getting so many like replies and comments about planning in something small. And so I was like, I'm just going to make a playlist, and then I'll just document what I'm doing in my own pint-sized planners. So like I said, I use this planner a lot, and primarily I use a lot of stickers in this planner. I like the icon stickers a lot. And then at some point I started putting washi tape on the ends here to add some kind of decoration. But what I noticed, especially in the daily part, is that it added a whole lot of bulk. So like I said, this has been my favorite planner this year. And basically, I've used it a whole lot. But as you can see from like earlier weeks, where it's like really filled out, and then you see weeks like this where it's not as filled out, that's because I was kind of falling off from my system. And this is right around the time when I started getting sick. So not much is really happening in these weeklies. And then this was the end of March, which I have not done. And then this is the first week of April, which I have not done. And these are the 2 weeks that I need to go back and catch up, like back plan for. So I end up adding this moleskin pocket notebook because if you guys know, I'm reading a lot of books this year. I've gotten into reading a whole lot. And so in the back of this Leuchtturm, I was basically writing like book reviews, books that I had read, and I was like documenting all the books that I was, adding to my collection and books that I wanted to read, and then I would review the books in these back pages. Well, there's not many back pages. I think there's only like 15 or so, but I was, writing my list, and I have to update this list because it's not current really. But what I noticed is that some of the books that I was reading are like series. And so with all of, my reviewing, I was like, I'm going to run out of space. And that's kind of happening because I don't even think there was 15 pages. Nope. So, yeah, with me doing this, I was like, I'm for sure gonna run out of space here. So what I'm gonna do is just continue on with this in here, and then when I run out, I'm gonna be using this book. Now, if you look at another planner that I'm gonna show you today, it probably won't make sense to have this, but I don't know. I just have this blank notebook here, and I don't really know if I want to use it now for this kind of stuff that I was doing. It made sense when I was primarily using this only because then, this is all one system, it's all together. But when I started adding and changing stuff for the second quarter, now I'm kind of thinking like, maybe this won't make sense to do it like that. So I don't know, it's up in the air. But I did add this book here for just the sake of having an extra space to write stuff, whether it be my book log or notes or whatever. So jumping over to the daily, same thing here. I've added things that I was using a lot. Obviously, you guys know I was using sticky notes a lot, and then pictures of my husband. And then my trackers, same ordeal. Like the weekly, the tracker is not up to date because I haven't been in it for the last 2 weeks. But as you can pretty much see, this daily planner grew a whole lot, and I tabbed it out ridiculously because, like I said, I won't bore you guys with going through like a whole entire flip of this. But basically, I had been using this planner primarily for everything. Like, it's been like when you flip through this, you see sticky notes like this, and then red check marks. You see shopping lists, you see appointments, you see things written in different color, and then you see tracking, you see goal sticky notes, you see a plethora of things in here. Like I said, this has been my main planner since kind of phasing out my hemlock and oak, because it was just so portable. I could take it with me, which is one thing that I really liked. I liked the fact that I could just take it with me, and that it was easy to carry with me around. I could definitely take it into a place with me. It probably would get some attention with the amount of chunk in it, but at least I knew I could take it with me. And so, yeah, I've been using this, and I have intentions, like I said, to back plan March 18th through April 7th. So we are here. So I have all of this to back plan, which shouldn't be that bad. I did kind of fill in 1 week, so it's not so much to back plan, but I definitely do need to catch up at least 2.5 of the weeks in this planner. So those are some things that I'm going to be sitting down and trying to do while the task and things that I did on these days are still relevant. So that's the Loy planner. So that was what I was using primarily for the duration of March, and while I wasn't using my hemlock and oak. Now, if I jump into my Q2 planners, like I said, I'm using the Hobonichi original, and I'm using the Sweet Freckled Designs planner. I'm going to jump into this one first. So this planner I tried last year, and I wasn't exactly thrilled or excited about this planner. I haven't heard any more talk about this. I haven't had or heard any talk about this planner recently or lately, for the simple fact that everyone is using like a Sterling ink or a paper test, and I'm not familiar with those brands, so I wasn't familiar with the Sweet Freckled Designs either. But what appealed to me is that it was undated, one, and then that she had 365 pages in the back, unlike the Sterling ink, which I did kind of check out. She doesn't have an undated. I don't remember seeing an undated. So yeah, but for second quarter, what I wanted was a Hobonichi Weeks, but then I decided against that because I didn't want to commit to a date. with the Hobonichi weeks, you know, they have like a bunch of extra pages that I think is just irrelevant. And then on top of that, if I decided at any given point that I wanted to go back to just using one planner, I wouldn't feel guilt from buying this planner that had dates in it. So I chose the Sweet Freckled designs, and then I also chose the Sweet Freckled designs for the note pages in the back. Even though last year I had said that I wouldn't buy Mega because I didn't use the note pages like I had thought I would use them. But with the current way that I'm planning right now, I think I would be able to use the note pages fairly easily. I'm in a book club, so we meet once a month, the last Sunday of the month. And so because I've gotten into reading and stuff like that, I've gotten into talking about my books and writing down questions and things regarding that book so that I can discuss them in the book club. So in this planner, I just have the Sweet Freckled Designs clear cover. I didn't want a cover for this because I wanted it to be as simple and as sleek as possible. I do want to add like some, what do you call those, patches to the front, but that's about it. But I have a weekly Hobonichi weekly notebook here tucked in the front. I also have one in the back, and they're going to serve different purposes. This one, which is why I said about the little notebook, the Moleskine notebook, this one I kind of wanted to make like my book reference. So in this book, I was using this reference book alongside my Hemlock and Oak, and this one has like my planning routine and some other, it's supposed to be reference, so it's supposed to have things in it pertaining to things that I can go back and check, but I never went back and finished the setup of this. And I did do the book log, but the problem was I've added new books and I've finished books, so I haven't finished this. This is a current book log, so I'm going to be transferring things over. I think that it will be a lot easier to keep my book stuff together, like book notes, book logs, book list in one spot, so that way, you know, everything is together and not sporadic, like it's mixed in with anything else. So that's what this book is going to be. And then I took the liberty in dating the entire months, but I didn't date the weeks, not all of them. I only dated the first quarter of weeks, but I did date all the months. And basically this just helps for forward planning purposes. But I do have all the months dated, and I highlighted all the weekends in the months, so that way the weekend stands out, and that way I can see the weekends a lot clearer. And so this is April, and basically May, and I just kept, you know, decorations simple, nothing too extravagant, because the tabs are already kind of decorated themselves. And then we jump into the first week. So this is how I'm using this planner. I basically am using it just like the Leuchtturm, draw a line down the middle and do my appointments and events on this side, and then like day specific task on this side, and then I'm tracking the weather. And then what I do here in this little section where you see writing is these are day specific notes. So like for instance, this is something that I used to do in my Moleskine Expanded, where I would write like Monday, and then these are all the notes and things for Monday, and then Tuesday, all those notes, and then so on. And I've added this sticky note for not specific day notes, but just a note in general that can pertain to any given day. And then some other things that I've done is I've dated it all the way down, but the weekends are in red throughout. That way I can just see the weekends a lot clearer. And I actually really like this. At some point I dated the week numbers wrong, so I'm just disregarding the week numbers, because when I was going through, I was like, oh, I missed a page, and that made all the numbers kind of off. And I don't think that I'm going to change it, because then it won't look right. But nonetheless, this is how I'm using this planner. And of course I made this little pocket. So basically it's made from a junior discbound double-sided pocket, and I cut the holes off, and then I cut this out, and then usually I would round the corners like this edge and this edge, but I didn't do that this time. And I stuck some things in here that are useful. So I have pictures of my son, a ruler, some page flags and sticky notes, and then just these little appointment and monthly habit trackers and stamps, which are all useful things. And as you flip through my planners, you'll see that I do use these things quite a bit. The next thing that I have in here is a Hobonichi pencil board, and I like this because you can stick sticky notes on it, but also I can use this as a straight edge to draw my lines for the week. So yeah, I have this in here, and then I haven't done anything with these back pages for the simple fact that I don't necessarily think I need to do dailies in this planner, but if I wanted to, I could do it here. And if I wanted to journal, I could also do it here. So the options are inevitable, or not inevitable. The options are, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. But the options are there. It's just, I haven't really, because it's so new, I haven't really gotten a chance to really dive into this back section, but this is where I've been primarily for this week. And it took a while for this book to kind of lay forward. And as I'm using this book, I'm definitely going to be observing the spine a whole lot, like how it holds up from the cover and the pages. I'm definitely going to be observing the spine on this one. But yeah, so that is the weeks. And then in the back of this, like I said, I have this notebook here, and then I have a must do. So although this book has note pages and whatnot, I've added these 2 weekly notebooks because one I wanted to use primarily for book logging, and then this one I want to use for my health and wellness stuff. So basically anything pertaining to all the medications and things that I'm using, the weight that I've lost, so like logging weight. So I'm going to be adding, like, I'm going to be drawing out trackers in this book here. And when I finish setting this one up, I'll definitely show that with you all. But I did manage to lose like a little bit of 20 pounds. So yeah, I want to set this one up as a health and wellness book. I do have one, but it's kind of big. Like I said, it was one that I have bought to go with my hemlock and oak. And like I said, I wanted something that was a lot smaller like this and easier to carry. Okay. And then the last planner that I have is the Hobonichi Original and the weekly supplement. And I'm just going to be honest that I have not touched the weekly supplement. This is the spring edition, and I haven't touched it yet. I haven't written in it at all. And the reason being is because I really just, like, I bought this and I want to use it. I have an idea of how I want to use it, but I just haven't, just done it. I haven't set it up or anything. I do have the January Start Hobonichi weekly supplement, and I have been using that one as like a tester for some of the things I want to do, just to kind of get a feel for it, because this is such a small book. But outside of that, I haven't set it up, so that's one that I'm going to be working on. And then this is the Hobonichi Original. And I haven't done anything with these pages, but what I've been thinking is to maybe use it as a tracker or a future log. I don't know. The options are there, but I'm keeping this very simple. Like, I'm using the monthly to, just like I'm using the monthly in the weekly diary, I'm using it to capture, you know, stuff. This is something that the Leuchtturm kind of lacks. It doesn't have like a monthly overview. It does have a monthly, but it's not in this kind of format. So I'm using this to basically capture some stuff. And then, you know, the Hobonichi Original has, or the Hobonichi has these miscellaneous pages. So like, instead of jumping from the month to the actual day page, you have like this turning the page section where it's just blank grid. So I don't know. I'm thinking maybe to do goals or something here. And then you have a cover page. And this is what I like about the Hobonichi, is like every month they have like this blank cover page. And so I can use this to dump sticky notes, and I can use it to put things in, like basically just sticky notes, but I can do whatever with this. So although the Hobonichi doesn't have a weekly notes page like the Leuchtturm. At least they have this little blank page for every month, so you can stick sticky notes here. And then if you're not familiar, then I already use a bunch of these to basically add to a day. And I just do my regular journaling, regular stuff, and then I usually tape these on top, which you see a lot in my like Leuchtturm. You see I tape a lot of sticky notes and stuff, and there's nothing special about this. I basically I plan my days, and then I add sticky notes on top for like notes and things like that. And I haven't really been using the schedule portion of this. I've just been kind of using it how I use the Leuchtturm, but I do want to try the schedule. I think I did try the schedule here a little bit, but I do want to try the schedule at least. And then, like I said, it's fairly new, so there's not a whole lot that is going on in this planner. And then I have the Hobonichi pencil board, which, you know, it just acts like another page marker and also something that I can use as a straight edge. And then I have another little pocket folder that I created, which holds some of the things that I was using in my Midori, which is like some trackers, some flags, and some color dots. And that's basically it as far as the Hobonichi. And then I just have this Nanami Cafe note, which doesn't have anything in it at all at the current moment. But what I plan on doing is just making it a catch-all of like notes, journaling, whatever. It doesn't have a rhyme or reason. I just wanted an extra notebook to go with the Hobonichi for the sake of having more space to write notes or day-specific notes or anything like that. So that way I wouldn't always have to use sticky notes to cover up some of the tasks. I could definitely write notes in the Cafe Nanami. So you guys, that is the long-winded update of my planning system. I tried to film this yesterday, but I don't know. I just didn't like it. Hopefully this one comes out a little bit better than yesterday. But that is the update with my planner system. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys are doing well yourselves. You know, like for me, this last month or two has just been stressful, so I hope that you all are doing great. Thank you to all the people who reached out or who have checked in on me. I'm doing fine, thank you. And yeah, thank you so much guys, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye guys.